I would like to ask you about centralized exams, accountability. Don't you think that we can have also the same problem as it was mentioned before between economic growth and education achievement, that there is a kind of reverse causality in the sense that those countries and societies which are more in favor of accountability, they are also more concerned on scores, and that is why they get so good results. So there can be some kind of reverse causality also in this relationship.
It's possible, and that's what the research in the background is really not at the level I'm talking about. It's all about causality and details and so forth. If I looked at the discussion of autonomy and accountability, where I showed you that one simple graph of how it changes with income levels and so forth, what that is looking at the PISA test over time within each country. And so it's only looking at whether scores change when we add centralized exams and whether we add more accountability, more autonomy or less autonomy. So that it's only using variations within countries that have already declared themselves of whether they're for higher test scores or more, have the institutions. And so in that way it's trying to eliminate any possibility that it's just pure reverse causality, that countries that have good economic institutions also have good schools. That's possible. But all of the analysis is to try to figure out whether that's what's driving it or not.
Any more questions? I have one of my own. I'm sorry, just to end there, although we're over time. It's quite striking the fact that among those factors having more clear influence on educational achievement, you didn't mention one that is extremely present in the public discussion about educational achievement, which is namely the institutional setting in terms of who owns the educational system, be it the state, can it be externalized, or the local powers, or whatever. And if we look at the most successful countries in the scores, they have in common, I mean, the Asian factor, so to speak, the emerging, but the institutional settings are quite diverse. They have not very much to do with each other. So what's the evidence from research about to what extent this single factor of I mean, the institutional setting about the ownership and control of the schools does affect achievement?
We don't have good evidence about the overall structure of that kind. The one place where we do have some evidence is that's related is that more choice of schools by parents seems to be beneficial. So if you go to the Netherlands, in the Netherlands, almost anybody can open a school. You could probably open a school in the Netherlands if you wanted. And I
don't think I'm interested in right now.
You might not. You might not be. But once you declare that you are going to open a school and you're going to produce the standards of it, you're going to produce the outcomes that are desired for the country as a whole, then anybody can run the school, and the state pays for it, provides the funding, and then parents can choose. So in the Netherlands, it's largely religious schools versus purely state schools, and the fact that there's choice is more important than who runs a particular school. And so it's allowing the options. And what the basic principle to an economist seems fairly straightforward. If a parent takes his or her kids to a school and they're not getting what they want, having an option allows you to move your kid to another place. But when your kid moves to another place, it also puts a little bit of pressure on the school to provide a better school so they don't lose everybody to the neighboring alternative school. So that choice produces the incentives that, in my way of thinking about it, leads to better teachers and better organization of the school.
Okay, so thank you very much again, Professor Hanushek, and thank you for your presence today and your attention.